Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna.
How we met? Well, a friend of mine from school was working in a place called Rogue's Cocktail Bar in Simon Street collecting glasses, and she was leaving her job. She said, "Do you want to take it over?" And the barman happened to be a good friend of John, so I'd be working there, he'd be seeing his friend, and we'd be drinking there.
We were a little bit frustrated with the opportunities the society seemed to present. Work, buy, consume, die, you know, something like, it's sort of like it really didn't have much appeal.
We definitely thought there's more to life, and
Yeah.
we wanted to explore the different possibilities that were out there. So when we went travelling, we looked at Buddhism in Thailand and Hinduism in India, and we sort of looked at a few different things. Yeah, but we didn't really find what we were looking for.
When we turned up to the loft for the first time, Rasa realised that it was the Hare Krishnas, and she said, "Oh no, it's the Hare Krishnas, we don't want to go in there." And I remember saying, "Hey, look, I'm hungry, we're going in there."
The fact that they sort of said no intoxication, and it was all about, I don't know about that, so I wasn't really on their wavelength at all. But they were really nice, and they were obviously very genuine and enjoyed their spiritual practice. So they said, well, why don't you just try out the spiritual practices, because, you know, proof is in the pudding.
I met a Hare Krishna once in Hamilton, and I really wanted to get into meditation, so I asked him, how do you meditate? And he said that what they do is they chant on beads, they chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and I said, oh, have you got some beads? He said, yep, so he gave me some beads, so I just started chanting Hare Krishna like that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. In the Bible, Paul says that if somebody wants to really dedicate their life to God, then if they really want to do it 100%, they have to take up a monastic lifestyle. For me, the most important thing was my spiritual practice, so I'd prefer to just focus on that.
When you have some spiritual practice, you feel much more at home with yourself and more knowledgeable of yourself.
You become, especially initially, very satisfied, and so much of the problems of your life just dissipate, vanish. So these sort of things happening, you're quite enthusiastic about assisting, letting people know.
I just thought everyone would become a Hare Krishna because it's just the best thing. So everyone should.
Yeah, so it was very strained actually for friends, families, etc. like that.
For me, it was a toss-up because like I was living in Wellington at the time, and I was involved in the activist community there, which at the time was quite well structured, positive things were taking place. But when I got into Krishna Consciousness, a lot of them objected to, they objected to it a lot. So I kind of realized that to some degree there was going to have to be a choice of community.
So you have a sheet with biodiesel, ethanol and hydrogen, one of these on your table. And in your group, you have to give it a score from -1 to +3. So just finish the first sheet, finish the first one, and then move on to the next one.
Hare Krishna school has a lot of smart, really smart kids. And they used to teach us higher levels than normal kids. So when we got to high school, we had a head start.
They taught us a lot of like values and stuff, as well as being devotional and being with people that understood us. Whereas non-Hare Krishnas, they kind of discourage me. And so they challenge me, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? And man, you should just like break the rules and and yeah. But it's kind of hard, like if they invite me to a party or something and then they're all drinking and then it's kind of like, not so comfortable. Yeah. I kind of seem like the odd one out. Yeah.
My friends, the most close friends, don't drink or anything like that. Probably because of our age as well, but the only differences would be I'm chanting and, I worship Krishna and stuff. But I do most of the stuff they do in their free time anyway. But yeah, my friends don't know I'm a Hare Krishna, so they think I'm normal. I'm sure they wouldn't have really cared, but because friends are friends. But I didn't tell them then, so I can't tell them now. It's a bit too late, but anyway, it's cool.
I can do it. I can do it before. Go over there.
The ground's not lovely.
We tried to bring them up with the consciousness of being the servants of God, servants of Krishna. So it's about developing love for God in your life, and that if God's always there and you're conscious of Him from when you're little, then it makes it easier through the whole life process to take shelter of the Lord in different situations. So I think that's what's slightly different.
In the sense that if you're brought up with that, anything that's going on in your life, it's always related to that. And, when there's awkward situations or difficult situations, you can put it in a way where there's actually some learning involved, and that maybe there's some way in which I have to change.
Because we're being taught the philosophy since the age of whenever, 0, then it's kind of easy to understand why we would follow those rules, and yeah, it just makes sense.
Well, the goal of our life is to go to heaven, I should say, or Godhead, which is eternally. So we have something to go to. We have a goal in life. So we don't just do whatever, So that empty space is filled with a goal of life. Because if you have no goal, then what's the point?
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana